Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and every now and then I stumble upon an incredibly wholesome story within the Call of Duty community. It doesn't happen very often. Of course, nowadays we're always talking about the Microsoft acquisition of Activision, we're talking about $30 bundles in the shop, we're talking about Warzone, we're talking about multiplayer always being neglected. There's always so much going on, right? But I stumbled upon this and I really wanted to share it because here's going to be the post. My 65-year-old father-in-law has played one game for the last 15 years. These are his stats. This was posted over to the gaming subreddit by Jaegerbomb 8 days ago. This dude, his father-in-law, 65 years old, airborne 57 because he was born in 1957, has been playing Call of Duty World at War only for 15 years. And as I scroll down here, you're going to see the stats. 293 days, man. 14 hours, 23 minutes. Just like 1,300 kills shy of 500,000 for crying out loud. Best streak of 36, almost 20,000 headshots. If you do the math on the KD there, he has roughly like a 1.7 KD and almost 300 days played. And because this was posted 8 days ago, I can almost guarantee that this dude right here has over 500,000 kills by now. So while we're talking about $30 bundles and we're talking about Microsoft and Activision, we're looking forward to COD 2023. This dude skipped all of that, man. He's sticking back on good old Call of Duty World at War, which came out in 2008. Now, what makes this even better is if you actually scroll down here to the comments, this man probably hears our recon plane, will find them in his sleep 100%. Nice KD, old man, and this is where people are doing the math on it. It's 1.69, getting close to 1.7, which is definitely pretty nice. Continuing on, to put this in perspective, your old man's basically killed the entire population of Liverpool in the United Kingdom, to which Brown note says, what a heroic act, Jesus. He spent 5.7% of his life in the last 15 years playing this game. About an hour and 20 minutes a day seems reasonable for a hobby. It really does. Like, a lot of people are saying that he's been wasting his time, he's spending way too much time playing just this one game, or, you know, he's put way too much time into the game, period. You know, someone should tell him, you know, he needs to go out there and enjoy his life because his entire life is now this game. I don't think that's the case, man. And that's the thing about video games. Video games are oftentimes one of the cheapest forms of entertainment for people. I mean, this dude bought the game 15 years ago for $60. He probably bought the DLC as well, to be fair. His son-in-law was actually replying to a bunch of comments in here as well, which we'll be taking a look at that here in a second. But he bought the game a while ago. He's been playing it nonstop for 15 years. Like, this is what he does to relax. This is what he does to entertain himself, you know, at the end of the day. And you know, here we've got this comment. I just did the math. My guy has spent 1.25% of his life playing this game. If he's 65 years old and he has that many days played, I'm not going to do the math. I'm assuming he's right. But Jaeger responds, he spent 1% of his life relaxing. Maybe reconsider who's living a sad life. And that's honest to God true. Like, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir if you're watching my YouTube channel here. But I mean, when people say, oh, you have so much time playing a video game, like you're wasting your life away or whatever, it's like, dude, how much time have other people spent watching TV? How much time have they spent driving? How much time have they spent at a bar or sleeping or waiting in line for something or just waiting on a text message or listening to music or whatever, man? Like, if you really, like, the thing about video games, I always thought this would be really interesting because in certain games like Fallout, for example, you can see like how many people you've killed in that game, for example, or you can think of like how many items you've stolen, how many quests you've completed. In games like World of Warcraft, it's like how much gold you've acquired over your time, like how many monsters you've killed, how much distance you've traveled and stuff like that. Don't you wish we can kind of like see those numbers for our real lives? I guarantee my distance travel would be incredibly low. We had to go drive to Pittsburgh the other day to see my dad, and oh my God, I hate traveling. I really do. It's not my thing. I'm a homebody. I stay home like all the freaking time. It's like, it's my thing. But video games, it's just somehow it still has that stigma to some people, even on the gaming subreddit for some reason, where if you have 300 days played on a game over the course of 15 years, then you've just completely wasted your life away. It's like, oh, I'm less of a nerd than you are, I guess, like that kind of thing. It just really doesn't make sense because the person making that post, I guarantee, is watching anime 15 hours a day. You know, it's relative. Like, when it comes to your leisure time and your free time, you should be able to do whatever it is you want. It is your life at the end of the day, and I think it's really cool that this 65-year-old guy has been playing Call of Duty World at War pretty much every day since he was 50 years old. That's freaking cool. I will say I got so much respect for this dude, but what's really funny here is I get this comment here from Nades. Such a shame World at War didn't track your weapon stats. It would have been interesting to see how many kills he has with each weapon. And the son-in-law responds with probably all MP40 kills. And he said in other threads too that the dude probably just mostly hip fires with the MP40. I'm like, there was actually a website, really old school World at War fans will remember. I don't remember the actual URL. I doubt it even works anymore, but there used to actually be a website where you could link your gamer tag to it, and then it would allow you to see your stats. I'm not talking about like Call of Duty Elite or anything like that. Like, I'm straight up talking about like an official website like by Treyarch and only for Call of Duty World at War if you want to have some modicum of a combat record. Then of course Modern Warfare 2 didn't have anything like that, but Treyarch knew people wanted to see their gun stats, so with Black Ops 1 we eventually got that. And if you're wondering about the gameplay here, I jumped on World at War on the PC today just to see if there's anyone even online. Not really. It's mostly just like bots for the most part, with the occasional actual person in your lobby. The game's not wildly popular on PC outside of this really weird phenomenon where people like to play crouch-only realism servers. I have no idea what's going on with that. But yeah, World at War, freaking awesome game. So many great memories. In 2008, that would have made me either a sophomore or a junior in high school, depending on where the birthdays lined up. Yeah, what a good game, what good memories, and just I saw this post, it warmed my heart. It's got about 40,000 upvotes, and I wanted to make this video here today, kind of just showing that off and discuss again. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. And I have a question. Before we wrap this all up here, I do have a question. What COD did you put the most playtime into? Now, I will say it's hard to calculate that, because if you don't have proper combat records for certain games, you don't get the entire story. For example, I think Modern Warfare 2, the original one, might be my most played. I think across all my accounts, I have like 60 days of playtime, something like that. But that's not counting all the Spec Ops. It's not counting all the private matches. It's not counting all of the, campaign and stuff like that. And if you're a Zombies fan, if you're talking about Black Ops 1 is your favorite, well, it's not probably counting all of your Zombies time. I don't think it did anyway. I think after that, they eventually started tracking time in Zombies. I'm not sure. Which COD do you think you put the most playtime into? Let me know about that, and let me know how much time it was. I would definitely be interested to read about that. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.